Quick fun fact. Out of the 50 U.S. states, well, 52 if you include D.C. and Puerto Rico, 21 of those states and territories have one NBA team. Now, that geographical breakdown is how we determine the Eastern and Western conferences. Now, subsequently, that's how we also determine the 6 divisions. And within those divisions, well, you have a lot of drama. We got a lot of news. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of content, bro. All right. So, you're watching your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey. So let's tune in and see what NBA division we're going to talk about today. The Minnesota Timberwolves. And this one's going to be cut and dry. We're going to be focusing on about 3 people. Yes, the team, but we're really paying attention to Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns just got an extension. Anthony Edwards just got an extension. Whose team is it? I say Anthony Edwards. I think it should be Anthony Edwards. But those two have to dominate and have to showcase. There's no issue between that duo. And then if we can do that, well, now we got to look at Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, well, you're a former DPOY, multiple-time DPOY, by the way. Can we get some value? Can we get the same value that your contract is worth? I don't believe so. But prove me wrong. Prove the doubters wrong. Because you still are a rim protector. And if you can give me about 15 points a game, which you should be able to do, just a little bit more offensive production, Rudy. If you could have ever developed a jump shot, that would have been smooth. But we got to see you put some respect on your name. Because now a lot of people are trying to slander you, talking about Rudy Gobert is overvalued. Again, I might be on that wagon as well. Tough. But those are the 3 things we're going to be focusing on for the Wolves. Essentially, will they be ready? Because they do have the team, the talent, to actually make things interesting in the West. I'm thinking 2nd round Western Conference, possible Western Conference if everything works out perfectly. But, we got to see how that shakes. But that's a storyline to follow, ladies and gentlemen. That is a storyline to follow.
Left hand, no. Gobert, yes. Naz Reid, pull up, yes.
He just comes in the game. Did it last game, too.
Davis getting the roll. Anthony Davis, 11 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists already. Conley, no, sidestep, 3-ball, boom. And this is Reeves off the bench and scoring.
He's had some really good ball games for them recently, too. Had a 16-point game against Charlotte.
Reed again.
There you go. Now
2 for 2 from long distance.
Yeah, man.
And that bucket from Rui Hachimura.
Minnesota has 3 hubs. What a move and finish by Anthony Davis right there.
Alexander Walker straight away. Yes, sir.
Big time.
Russell, nice feed. Davis, another hoop. He has 15. Reeves pushing it ahead. They're thinking 2 for 1. Reeves got it. Edwards going mid-range off glass.
Wow, that's a hard shot, man.
And nice feed. Vanderbilt, the pump fake and put it through. Miscue. Anderson trying to find Towns. Towns wasn't ready for it. LeBron leading the NBA in fast break points. Hachimura, size advantage, count it, and put him on the line.
Yeah, guys, you guys were up there and you were talking about Kyle and what he brings to this team. It was imploring them, let's get our defense together, make sure that we flood and limit some of these easy paint points.
Brown with the 3. Conley taking the contact, kick out, Reed. Oh, he's going to drive down the lane, left hand, good.
So Finch wanted to make sure that he gave them a way not to turn the ball over.
This is a big lineup. You got to play it against them. Nice attack by him.
Cam Reddish penetrating, kick out. Prince got it off and scores. Prince in the corner. Naz Reid down the lane, lefty lane.
But speaking of bulking up, though, someone with a little stockier build, we got to give a shout out to the Timberwolves because they do have a young stud in the game in Anthony Edwards. Fellas, my question is this. Is Ant going to take that next step? Hakima, I want you to answer this question. I feel like, you have the most basketball experience out of all of us. So in turn, when you see someone like Anthony Edwards play a young stud, what do you think about him? Is he going to take that next leap and possibly be like a top 15 player in the NBA?
Oh man, I think it's tough because his team sucks so bad, man. And I guess they made it to the playoffs or whatever, but they're not a threat. So like, you're always gonna be able to like play junk defenses on them to some extent. I mean, you let Cat shoot his threes and all that, but you're always gonna be able to like try to cut down on him getting to the basket. But I think like with him, his next step would be like to stop relying on the 3-pointer so much, to like focus more on getting downhill. Because with that size, he doesn't really need to settle for threes unless it's about a junk defense. But I think he shoots a bit too many of them. Like, that's maybe I'm just an old dude, so that's how I look at everybody in the NBA. But I think he's one who, like, with that size, he should be getting to the basket, like unstoppable getting to the basket. He's not as like nimble as like some of the like D Wade. I mean, nobody's as nimble as him, but he's not as fast as some of the other two guards.
Okay.
Like,
Huge.
That was it. He's pretty strong though. Tep, you
Yeah.
got anything different to add, or is it you pretty much said the same thing?
No, just like they got to do something with that front court, that back court, like like everything around him
He
needs
said the
work.
front court and the back court.
I feel like y'all being a little bit too harsh on these boys. Like I understand it. I will say as potential, they have the talent to be a top 4 team in the West. I said it. I stand on it.
Yeah,
But
and I completely disagree with you. Like
that's crazy.
on paper, they look like it, but on the court, it's bad. It's just
I
bad.
think they have the talent. You're talking about execution right now. Like
Oh, you think Karl Anthony Towns is good? That's why you're saying that?
yeah, you don't think he's good?
You think Conley's still healthy? You think Mike Conley still has legs?
I think Mike Conley. You know how Kyle Lowry played for the Heat? I think
10 to 15 minutes.
I think Mike. No. I'm talking about a very solid, serviceable player.
A very solid 10 to 15 minutes.
25 to 30. Like that's what Lowry was doing over the last couple of seasons. I think Conley's still at that point where he can hit that same mark. Give him about 2 more seasons, you're gonna get the best out of Conley that you get. And then after that, like it's cool. It's fine. We appreciate
I never really liked the
Conley be on this podcast in 2 seasons.
I never liked the Conley Gobert pairing.
I like Conley.
I never liked the Conley Gobert pairing because Gobert just doesn't catch the things Conley throws him. So I don't see what that adds on the floor.
Adds extra rim protection. I also think too, though, from a Karl Anthony Towns perspective, he can play more help side. He does have defensive capabilities to make that team extra special. Plus, you got other players like Naz Reid, Jared Vanderbilt. I'm not Jared Vanderbilt. What's the other boy's name? Oh my God, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be irritating. But they have other players to help. Who?
Oh, I know. You already said Naz Reid. I love Naz Reid's game.
Yeah. Naz Reid pairs well. So now he can pair with Rudy or Cat, and he's a good defensive player, or he can play offense. So, I mean, I think they have a lot to work with. So, I'm not saying they're definitive champions. No. Could they be contenders? Maybe in like 2 seasons, but I don't want to sleep on this Wolves team. I don't want to say they're as bad as everybody else trying to make it seem like. I personally like them. But like Anthony Edwards, I would agree with you, Akeem, going downhill, attacking a little bit more. Although shoot 37% from 3 ain't bad. Still, I do understand where you're coming from, but it is a different day and age. So that you could have something on that one.
Don't get me wrong, they're tough, but I think like the top 6 teams in the West easily like beat them in a playoff series, like or not easily. Like it'll be tough, but they'll beat them.
Like, I mean, they're beatable. Yeah, I'm not trying to like make it seem like they're a juggernaut out here. They just have really good talent. That if you cultivate it properly, it could turn into something in about 2 seasons. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think you got to break them up.
I trade Gobert and Towns.
I don't know who you're gonna get for Gobert and Towns. You can get a lot back, but Gobert is the tricky part because you can actually just cut him, in about 2 seasons from now if you don't want to. So, but we'll see how that one shakes. Because there's another team here who's actually taking a weird direction, and I'm kind of confused by it. So, fellas, I greatly appreciate y'all. We did cover the entire West, and we did it in an hour and some change, so I appreciate that. But before we go, do y'all have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for inviting me to the Get a Bucket podcast again.
I appreciate you coming on, my boy. Tep, you got anything you want to say before we close?
Nah, man, just thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
I appreciate y'all boys coming on and taking time out of y'all busy day. as you can see, you know, they both got stuff going on in the background. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all boys get back to it. But ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host. Get a bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care. Didn't I tell you there was drama? Didn't I tell you there was news? Didn't I tell your ass you were gonna like it? Like, bro, there's so much to talk about within the divisions. Like, who's crazy? But don't worry though, we will definitely have more to talk about. There's so much more to talk about. So don't be upset. But look, please continue to support the page. You know, like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of your favorite show's favorite show, Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.